Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So in today's video, we're heading back to the Women's and Children's Hospital because we have an appointment with pulmonary medicine for Mac. This appointment was scheduled for March, but we've had some health concerns with Max, and we've just given him a call in the last week or so, and they've squeezed us in to see Max. Now, what's been happening? So Max's weight gain is declining. He's now in the 5th percentile of his age group, and when we have a look back in mid-December, Leo and Max were within 7 and 10 grams apart, and now when we had them both weighed about a week ago, they're about 800 grams apart. So we're really concerned about Max's weight gain, and we're going in the hospital to get him looked at. So guys, we just finished with our appointment at Pulmonary Medicine. So what happened in that appointment was, first she took us to an examination room and we weighed Max, and he's 10 grams up from when we weighed him on Monday. And from there we went to her office, and then we were just talking about how Max has been in the last week since we had that phone call with the doctor.
Last week when I spoke to the doctor, I've raised a few concerns with Max about his coughing and just him seeming generally unwell, even though we know that he's not unwell. It's just he's normal, and raised concerns about him being small.
So his growth rate has dropped off, and we know from when we were weighing him in mid-December that Max and Leo were only about 10 grams apart, but now when we're weighing them, they're 800 grams apart. And then this was really concerning to us because we don't want Max to be left behind in weight and then in development. So we just wanted to go over a few things, and we did talk about a few things that the doctor spoke to the dietitian about, and the dietitian is going to be getting back to us, and they're going to look at changing his feeding regime again. So they want to look at less volume but the same or maybe even higher calories. We're just waiting to hear from the dietitian as well, but she had to listen to Max's chest just to see what she could hear in there, and she's saying that he sounds fine, but then he does have a bit of a, what would you call it?
Like in the throat?
Yeah.
It's like, I think they call it stridor. I think that's the word for it, where it just sounds like he can't clear, and he's just got a constant noise when he breathes, or in movement as well. So we were just discussing that with the doctor. And she also mentioned that due to him being a cardiac baby, that she thinks that he might need more calories than just a normal baby, which is due to him having to work a little bit harder. His heart works a little bit harder, so he burns more calories. So I think she's going to discuss that with the dietitian again, because a new regime has been made, and she had it sitting in front of her, but she said, I'll get the dietitian to call you about this. So I think she's going to go back to the dietitian again and just discuss that, and I guess see what happens. Because
with the regime that was, with his feeding regime that was changed recently, he's still on the same amount of calories. They just dropped the volume, and the reason was that, so less volume, less in his stomach, and less likely for him to reflux. But if he is burning more energy, and they need to have a look at raising the calories to meet that, so he still stays on the same growth rate.
It's a little bit frustrating too, because we still have to make sure he's getting enough hydration. So he'll have a feed, and then you have to give him water, and that's like a separate feed that requires, you know, more tubes and more time, which is fine, you can do it, but like sending him to childcare and expecting them to do it as well, and it's just
it's almost like double the amount of tubes, double the amount of cleaning, sterilising, preparation and everything like that. So
and we get a monthly allowance with equipment, and that hasn't been allowed for yet, so we have to discuss that with the hens, and we will later this month when we see them, because we need more tubes. Like we're just going through them like crazy, and we reuse them, we're supposed to, and we do, but we're using them to the point that they're breaking, and
I mean the syringes, like we know from when we use them, they probably last about a week. And then we just like, because we'll do enough to get us through a day, like a batch, and then we'll use that for a week, and then we'll get a new batch for enough for a day.
But with having to do so many more extra feeds, we don't have enough, so we'll sort that out. The other thing she discussed was so we're going to see ENT, and the expectation is that they will put another camera down his nose again like they did before, but what she wants from them is for him to go under and have a camera further down to see if there's any issues, but in the meantime she's requested a couple of tests. One is a barium swallow, which will just check if there's any obstructions with feeding, and the other one is an airway study, and that will just check to make sure that his bronchial branches are working the way they should be. So that's next week. So she said that there is a condition with babies, especially the ones that have had chest surgeries, that they can have floppy bronchial things.
And with that being floppy, it could sort of just cause an obstruction.
So we don't know what happens if that's the case, but hopefully, I don't know, it's at that point where you don't know if you want something to come back or not, because we want him to get better, but we want
answers. But sometimes when you get those answers, it's like, right, everything changes. Now we've got to stop doing all of this and then change what we're doing, and then it could mean that there's going to be a lot more work or a lot more disruption to what we're doing now, which is, we'll do whatever we need to do for Max. At the end of the day, we just want him healthy. So
our biggest concern is that we want him to just be doing his best. We don't want it to get to the point where, like, they're twins, they're going to be compared. It's just how it is, unfortunately. But we don't want it to be like, oh, poor Max, he can't do this, or we want them to have equal opportunity to play and learn and all the rest of it. So I think he just started childcare last week, and our concern is that Leo's going to thrive and Max is going to be held back because of these medical concerns, and if we can fix them, we need to fix them. The positive thing was the doctor said that at the end of this month, after the hens clinic appointment, that she'll get them to trial him with some puree in that appointment, which would be great because he's definitely interested in eating, so allowing him that opportunity will be fantastic.
Absolutely. So at the moment we're just waiting for our ENT appointment, which is in just over 2 weeks, and then having these scans done, and hopefully we'll have some more information about what's happening with Max. And so if you're interested to see what we've got going on, look out for the upcoming videos. Better yet, subscribe and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. I can see his leg hanging over this.